Our ideas of the past are warped. Here's why and how we can prevent them from affecting our present. The past is just an idea in the present moment, a stored idea of something that happened that we're resurrecting now. It was interpreted one way at the time it happened. It doesn't mean we don't have a general idea of what happened. We're not here to stop trusting everything we experience so we can feel insane or discounting some obviously awful things that have happened. It's the implications we carry with this that we're interested in here. If it felt unpleasant then, and if we don't digest it at the time it happened, we store it away. It's already a partial picture loaded with implications, and it festers while it waits in the dark. These ideas of the past that we're pulling up from the shadows in this moment, how much should we rely on them as guides for present action? We'll use the example of someone being cruel to us at some point in the past. How reliable is our view on a present situation of discomfort when we've experienced cruelty before? Our view of the present situation is not reliable at all. First, when the original event happened, we singled out parts of that event. We focused on certain factors, but there were an infinite amount of other parts, including our mental and physical state at the time, the mental and physical state of the other person at the time, the state of the world at the time that would have been affecting us, the history of the other person and my history, the history of that person's ancestors. You get the picture. We could go all the way back to the Big Bang. So we took a part of a very big picture and we extracted the details we interpreted to be important, and we stored them away in a file of similar events in a big filing cabinet in our head. Next, our ego did its job of making it about our identity. We interpreted that the event implied something about who we are, about how other people are in general, and about how the world works. And the event reiterated and reconfirmed the one idea that we took on long ago, that we're inadequate in some way to handle the navigating of this inhospitable world with all the harmful people in it. This event was used to enhance our ego, meaning our sense of being separate, small, and needing to fight to survive. I say fight because fight or flight and all the other F's people come up with are all fighting reality, saying no to what they see, and acting accordingly. Most of these assumptions of the ego are subconscious, but they come across in the moment of the event as a general sense of things are not okay about me and the way the world works, at the very least. So we carry an abbreviated interpretation of the past made personal by our ego. We come to present events with a perspective that was warped by abbreviation at the time. We already discussed that. It was warped by emotion when it happened. That's a bodily reaction, which is stored in our physicality. It's exponentially warped again every time it's remembered. That's the science of memory. It's been warped by mixing it with all the other events that have happened to us that are similar to it. And it's been warped over time by a general way of seeing that thinks any pain-causing event is another way to prove that it's true that we're pitiful creatures in a dangerous world. All this to say that the past is nothing but thoughts in the present that are full of implicit biases. Basically, what we call the past is inherently not true. A little metaphor: if that original event is an apple and we juice it, we have our memory, which is the apple juice. And we mix in all the other memories that are similar, those are the other kinds of apple juice, and add the yeast of existential fear from the ego, and they're all fermenting in that dark cellar of a mind we're hiding it in. We end up with some hard cider that we're getting drunk on every time it seems like someone's being cruel to us in life. We're inherently heavily intoxicated, meaning not in our right mind. So responding to a situation when we're triggered is like driving while really drunk. Not a good idea. In this analogy, we need to stop and get out of the car and sober up before we keep on the track we're on. In real life, it means taking time to step back before we make decisions, reply to someone with a snappy comeback, get ramped up in a tirade, or run to the fridge for carbs, we pause. We keep our mouths shut until we're more settled, and we do what it takes to become free of the warped perspectives from the past, which is a topic for another video. But pausing is not overrated as a fundamentally healthy life skill.